Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Pro Tour San Juan on the island of Puerto Rico. I'm your host, Richard Hagon. Standing beside me, the Pro Tour historian, Mr. Brian David Marshall. A stack to get through, as always. BDM, take it away. What's the format this weekend?
The format is Zendikar block all the time. We are going to have 10 rounds of block constructed. The format uses cards from Zendikar, World Wake, and the newly released Rise of Eldrazi. Players build a deck. This format, block constructed, is usually a precursor to next year's standard format. So last year in Honolulu, we saw people playing with Bloodbraid Elf, playing with Lightning. This sort of indicated the Jund frenzy that was to come. We're going to see what next year's standard looks like this weekend. We also have 6 rounds of Rise of Eldrazi draft. This is a great draft format. It's really skill intensive. There's a lot of different archetypes people can draft. There's not any one deck that has, taken an early lead in the format. A lot of people have a lot of different solutions for the format. It's going to be really interesting to see how that happens. And that's going to be our top 8 format. So We're going to have 5 rounds of constructed, 3 rounds of draft, 3 rounds of draft, 5 rounds of constructed, and then
Top 8 draft on Sunday. Now, there's been a ton of stuff going on in the world of Pro Magic over the week since we were with you in San Diego. Let's crank up the big screen and show you what we've got. We begin, Andreas Muller, the winner of the largest event in Magic history, 2,226 players. He beat 2,225 of them to end up with that trophy shot. BDM, then we go to Asia. Who's next?
So we have Ding Long in one Kuala Lumpur, and then we have Katsuhiro Mori, former world champion, won Grand Prix Yokohama, defeating one of the most venerated players in Japan, Masahiro Kuroda, in the finals.
Back we go to Europe, we go to Brussels, Emanuele Giusti, and that number 2 there, that's to indicate he's the first Italian ever to win multiple Grand Prix. He won Rimini in 2008 and now wins Brussels here. On we go back to America, to Houston.
This was a great win for Adam Yurchik. Adam has finished second at multiple events, multiple GPs, most recently Grand Prix Oakland. Finally gets his win in Grand Prix Houston. It was very exciting. This is someone we could see some great things from this year now that he's got that sort of monkey off his back.
And someone we have a lot of time for as well. Next up, back to Europe we go. We're in Lyon in France, and there you see the German player. Now, Florian's been playing since the dawn of time. He got 1 pro point, his first ever at Grand Prix Oakland, and then makes 1 into 11 by winning here at Lyon. And then BDM, we had the biggest event ever in Madrid. Where do we go next?
Brad Nelson, Grand Prix Washington, D.C., 1,932 players. It's been about a year since we met Brad Nelson at Pro Tour Honolulu, where he finished 9th. This is someone, he won the MOX, which was a block constructed event, Magic Online Championship Series. He won the 3rd season as a block constructed tournament event. This could be a big weekend for Brad.
And we're going to talk a lot to Brad Nelson. Got a really nice feature on him coming up. Well, let's see what all this does to the Player of the Year race. There you see the list. BDM, take us through the highlights of the top 10.
Well, I mean, you see 3 names at the top that are not names that we're used to seeing leading the race. Kyle Bajami, 2nd place at Pro Tour San Diego. Tied with the winner of Pro Tour San Diego, Simon Gertzen. Adam Yurchik, Grand Prix Oakland, 2nd place. Grand Prix Houston, 1st place. That's got him right up there. And then we start to see some of the names that we're used to seeing at the top of the standings.
Now, I tell you who we don't see at the top of the standings. Let's go further down here. You end up with 6 level 8 mages who are not on the Player of the Year race leaderboard. Shuhei Nakamura, Martin Hughes of the Czech Republic, Kazuya Midamura, winner of Honolulu last year, the Brazilian Paulo Vida Dama da Rosa, Yuya Watanabe, the reigning Player of the Year, Gabriel Nassif, not on the leaderboard, but a lot can change in the next 3 days. So, what we're going to do, we kind of had a look at 4 players each that we thought might be interesting, might have a breakout weekend this weekend. My number 1 guy is from Germany, and his name is Lino Bergold. You may know him, he's the Rookie of the Year. He won Grand Prix Hanover last year. An interesting guy, he loves his Magic, incredibly enthusiastic, a real outgoing character, and a lovely, lovely guy. Interesting to see what he does with block constructed. BDM, who's your number 1?
I have a theme for my 4 guys that I picked. Sam Black is someone who really turned it on last year. Early this year, got off to a great start playing with Mythic, the deck designed by Zvi Moshowitz for Pro Tour San Diego. And Sam's putting on a lot of work for this event, and I'm expecting some big things from him.
Okay, my number one American is someone we've already seen. It's Adam Yurchik. There he is with the trophy again. Anyone who keeps coming ninth and second and second and second and then comes first, that's someone who's really dangerous because they have learned how to win. So I want to see, can he win at the highest level?
And you think maybe the floodgates are open for him?
I think so. I mean, he really feels like he's going somewhere. Who's next for you?
Gudenis Vidageris. I think he might win this Pro Tour.
Yeah.
I honestly think he might win this Pro Tour. Gudenis was recently moved to New York. He's been working with Zvi, working with Sam, working with that group of players. He also had the Mythic deck in San Diego. Gudenis hasn't won more than maybe a match in Rise of Eldrazi Limited in all the time leading up to this event. I mean, he's just been like battered by this format. And I got to tell you, I don't think you take that amount of battering and not completely understand the format inside and out. And I think that when he gets to the draft tables, this guy's going to run the draft table.
Okay, my number 3, I'm going to take you back a year to this guy. He doesn't look very happy there, but he did 12 months ago. This is Kazuya Midamura, one of the fastest players ever to reach 100 lifetime pro points and the winner of Pro Tour Honolulu. The reason I've picked him, though, it's not just because he won. He went 9-0 in draft. And we remind you, top 8 on Sunday, it's draft. Can he be 9-0 in draft? Again, BDM, quickly, because we're almost out of time. Who's next?
Well, I've been talking about Team Mythic, and I have to talk about Zvi Moshowitz. Zvi's pulled together a really great group of players. He's been banging away at this format. He is a master of block constructed. I like Zvi's chances.
My number 4, Gavin Verhey, Pro Tour qualifier winner in Seattle. It's a bit of a rogue pick. We'll see. Have you got a rogue pick for number 4?
I have a little bit of a rogue pick here. Maybe you've heard of him. John Finkel. He's showing up. He's working with Zvi. He's been playtesting for this format. We saw him winning Kuala Lumpur. I think he can do it again.
Okay, they are our 8 to watch this weekend. In our next show, we will bring you some of the cards you're going to see over the weekend. Arch Enemy comes out this weekend. It kicks off the summer of multiplayer Magic. So much going on around the venue in this phenomenal island location. But until we meet again for our second show here of Pro Tour San Juan, I'm your host Rich Hain for BDM, saying bye.